Hello YouTube, my name is Alice and these are the Nightbird Vlogs. As the name of the video suggests, there are a few things that I personally believe you may need to know before coming to Colorado, which are just things that you wouldn't necessarily think about, necessarily things that people just know. So, here we go. Number 1, oxygen. If you're coming from, especially something at sea level or right around sea level or even below sea level to here, you're going to want to purchase some oxygen when you get here. And you're not, it's not going to be carrying around this giant tank or something like that with a face mask and everything that you see. We're talking about these. These, so we don't have the... Anyway, they are of various sizes. Some of them have scents or flavors, if you will. This is just a basic one that I picked up when going up in the mountains, because I'm from lower altitude too, and I'm as adjusted as I am to this altitude. If I go higher than this, I still need air, because basically the higher altitude, the less oxygen is in the air, and this is what causes people to feel lightheaded, to see spots, and then consequently pass out. We don't want that if you come here, so get yourself some oxygen. We can sell them at grocery stores. Some gas stations even sell them. This one is about $18 or so. It's not that bad. You get 200 hits out of it. That should be more than enough for your time here. Second of all is clothing. Yes, you may need to pack something a little bit warmer. But it really does depend on what time of year you're coming as well. So, like, if you're coming in summer, you can get away with, like, I'm originally from Texas, so in summers, I can typically get away with kind of what I'd be wearing in winter there. We're talking pants, long sleeves, and we're good, because it's a lot cooler than it is at certain other places in the country, so just keep that in mind as well. If you do come in the colder months, you're going to want at least a fleece, and probably like a actual heavy coat as well. I'm not trying to product placement or anything on this, but I recommend Lands' End. They make a really good coat that's it's the same thing that people on the Weather Channel wear out in the middle of a storm. It's good stuff. It'll keep you warm. You should be good. Keep in mind that the other night here we were at single digit in Fahrenheit, so keep that in mind. That's another thing. Once the sun goes down, so does the temperature drastically. So, there's things to keep in mind when you're packing if you're trying to come here. Next up, because tourism is a thing and coming places where this sort of thing is legal is a thing. Yes, technically, marijuana is legal here. You'll still have to go to one of the dispensaries that are just for recreational use, not medical use, unless you have something from a doctor saying that you need this. You'll have to go to recreational. You'll have to show your ID at the door. Do not try to leave the state with it, especially if you're trying to fly. There are little drug dogs at the airport here to make sure that you do not try to take it out of the state, because that's illegal. You're transporting. And here's my cat, by the way. Oh, the dangers of not using a green screen. But I've kind of lost my train of thought a little bit there. Yeah, it's still wildly illegal to transport out of the state. So if you're going to do it while you're here, do it while you're here and leave it behind. Also, people think that because it's legal here, you can do it and there's no real consequences. But there are still some places that make you take a drug test before you can be employed there. And marijuana does still set that off. So even if, yes, it's legal here, there are still places of business that you can't have that in your system when you go to do the drug test in order to get the job. Next up is alcohol. I'm sure if you've been on a plane before, and if you've had alcohol on a plane before, you're familiar with the fact that at higher altitudes, alcohol hits different. So, don't come here thinking that just because you do, 6 shots of tequila and down in Texas or whatever, you're perfectly fine. That you'll be able to do so up here and not be on your ass. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You're going to have a bad time, is what I'm saying. And then also, the grocery stores here, yes, do sell beer and such, but it's also at a lower alcohol content. So in order to get beer that you'd be able to get at most other places in the country, you would actually have to go to a liquor store. Liquor store is the only place to get full strength alcohol in this state. So keep that in mind. If you go to, King Supers instead of, HEB or something, if you're from Texas, don't expect it to be the same alcohol content as you would going to, you knock back 6 of them, I don't feel anything. Yeah, well, that's because the alcohol is so much lower here. Next up is the weather. Because right now, I thought I'd bring this up because it's relevant at the moment. Right now, if you look out the window, it looks really nice out there. And really pretty, and like it'd be nice and warm, etc., etc. It's 34 degrees with a wind chill of 23. So don't just look out the window and say, oh, well, it's a pretty day, I'll go out in shorts and a t-shirt. No. Check the weather. If you're not sure, check the weather. It will be your best friend. Even something as simple as bringing it up on your phone, But for now, I don't think I have anything else to add to this. If you enjoyed the video, if it was informative at all, please like. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. There are going to be links in the description below to my Twitter account and to the store where you can buy some merch, which, by the way, there are currently just the one design up as far as the actual logo. It's the logo for the channel. There are going to be more designs coming up in the future, so stay tuned for that. For right now, though, both of those links are going to be in the description below. Peace, love, keep being awesome.